Hi everyone, welcome to 360 Art Drops with the Z. And we are so welcome that you're energetically and monetarily invested in the channel. Today we have Witch Do Art with the VITCHDOART. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And where are you from?
I am from Austin, Texas.
Nice. Okay, and do you want to throw out your links before we start? Or
Yeah, I actually my art business goes by MunsterBunny Art. So it's Monster with the U. And I do on my personal page go by Bitch Do Art. So you can find me on Facebook under Munster Bunny or Instagram under Munster Bunny.
Okay, perfect. I usually ask that at the end, but I thought maybe we'd get out of the way. So
Yeah,
would you like to bless us with your journey of art? Like, how did you start to become an artist, and from where you are before to now?
yeah. I've really been doing art since I was a kid, and it's kind of just the one thing that stuck with me and just gave me a sense of peace and help me. I'm not great at meditating or anything, so it's given me that space to like just focus on something and sit there with my emotions and my thoughts while I, do something with my hands and create.
I think
And
that it's really funny that you said about the meditation thing because my family is always getting on my case about trying to meditate. And that I like art is like the only thing that keeps me sane or keeps me really meditated, like in a meditation zone. So I can relate to that completely. Um, you do particular types of car cartoon characters, or there's particular types of characters that are really unique that I haven't seen before. Would you like to talk a little bit about that, like how you came up with these creatures?
yeah, I did start when I was younger with like the OCs, your own character,
Uh,
and they always tended to be towards mythological creatures. And so as I found my art style, it just kind of got more, I guess, more focused on the actual lore, and it went from, the cute like centaurs and the horned women and stuff into the things that I do now are more like how do I phrase it? I guess avenging women and mythological creatures more centered to like one of my favorite pieces right now is the flower with the little teeth and it's
uh,
got eyes on the petals. So all of that is really focused on mythology.
do you have a picture of that?
Yes, I actually grabbed my print for this. I had a print made for myself of that one.
Oh, nice. Wow, it's so detailed.
Thank you.
It
I
looks
have
like
a
a
few.
touch me not almost. Looks reminds me of like a touch me not flower.
Oh, I haven't heard of that, but it definitely sounds along my vein.
Yeah, like it's cute, but you don't want to touch it.
Yes, yes. I really like the idea of obviously now I'm look a little crazy. I get a little crazier as the years go by with my style. And I love the idea of being like a cute little gremlin, like cute but very ferocious.
How many years have you been and you said that you started when you were really little. How many years did you like consider yourself like a professional artist or
I think around 2018 was when I started getting involved with like bending and live painting, doing events and stuff like that as a professional painter. So let me do some math. What is that, like 5 years now?
yeah. So you're in Texas. Do they have First Fridays there?
Oh yes. I mean, every little city, Austin especially, of course, there's so many art events, has those First Friday events.
Uh-huh.
And
So
it has been a while since I've done any vending type of stuff, but yeah, I used to be very involved in those.
when you were involved, what were the types of, what were the names of some of the events that you went to?
Um, let's see. Most of the ones that I started out with would be at like smoke shops. And then artist collectives that would get together. So we did some events at Cosmic Cowboys, an awesome little smoke shop. And they had, what is it? I was just talking to them, trying to remember the name. I think it was, wasn't Create Culture. I think Create Culture was one that I did at Empire. Man, I cannot remember the name of that collective. But we also did some at Polis TV, which was a little art gallery, and then Cherry Cola Dog, which a lot of us know from Austin area.
Okay.
Was a really good collective.
Nice. Do you most of the art you do is by yourself? Do you do any collabs?
I've done a couple, but it's definitely tough. I mean, we know we're all over the place doing 50 different projects as artists, so it is definitely tough to be able to schedule things and pull the collaborations togetger. But I have done one recently, very similar. Sorry, my puppy's getting him a snack real quick. I did do one that's very similar to the, like as you said, the Touch Me Not flower.
Yeah.
And there was another one I am still currently working on with another artist that does more abstract work. So there's been a couple more digital things. I think digitally it's a little easier to collaborate so we can work on our own time.
Right. And yeah, especially as artists, we tend to run on different, very varied schedules. And sometimes, you know, during the night or very early morning, we're still up working. I wanted to ask you, what type of art or genre of art does your art fit into?
That is such a tough question. It's so hard to like name your style. I don't know. Right now, I am going with the illustrative contemporary, maybe a little bit of pop art. I do still have a very watercolor style, but
abstract in there too. Like, what did you call it? Pop? Did you say pop art?
Yeah, I'm going illustrative contemporary pop art is kind of my just like smashing together terms pretty much. So like
that's cool. That's cool to know. Like what are your favorite pieces that you've done up till now?
Probably the flower is my favorite at the moment. And then this piece that I'm working on, it's still unfinished, but it is my current number one. I know what it will look like. So when it's finished, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Thank you.
Like what are the big challenges that like your moments that you just you said, well, look, I'm gonna be an artist full time, or are you an artist full time? Do you have other hustles that you need so that you can be an artist?
Well, actually, this is a good time of year to ask. I do normally in fall, until around February, I do art full time, and I'll do some other, side gigs, day job gigs. And then the rest of the year, pretty much in the summertime, late spring, summer, I'll work at, some kind of day job, customer service, something simple so that I can just focus on doing my own projects and, just slow down my commissions and really be able to create for myself for a while.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I used to like hostess and waitress and everything, and like I don't know if my hand had any time to like do art, but somehow I found it. Somehow I found some time. Oh, I know a lot of us artists are like kind of first reliant on like some other types of income in order to get going and like keep going. So that's why I always ask like what kind of balance that you have between, your personal responsibilities and like trying to keep yourself afloat and trying to do your art. Um, what um, what advice would you give to like somebody who's starting out?
There's so much advice. I mean, a lot of things that I've learned over the years. I would really say on, the same note that we were just talking about, find that balance that you want, find a way to define that for yourself. So you know really what you want to do with your time. Because like, for instance, for me, I used to really want to be a full-time artist, and now I'm like, okay, that's actually it puts a lot of pressure on yourself to
It does.
keep commissions full. And yeah, your schedule has to be so finely tuned, and you have to be on top of everything. So just define for yourself if that's the kind of art you want to do, or if it's music or any other kind of creation.
Right.
How much time you want to invest in that versus what you're able to do financially, and as far as your personal life too, because you want to stay rested, and creativity can be very draining.
Right. Um, what else would you say to someone, not if even if it's not advice, just about your journey, and anything else that you would want to share with us about
um
about you?
yeah, I mean, one of the most important parts of just sticking with the art journey, no matter how consistent it is, I suppose. And that too, that's also a good piece of advice. Just because you're not doing it all the time does not mean you're an artist. If you need to take breaks,
Yeah.
but also like when you get into that, I guess it is like a collective. No matter which group you're in, you're always going to find more family along the way. So if you feel like, it's really hard and you're alone and you want to give up, if you keep taking those steps, you're going to find support, and you're going to find family and some really awesome, genuine people. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Do you get commissioned a lot? Um, commissioned a lot of.
I'd say like during this time of year it's my busiest, because of like Christmas, and there's a lot of
Right.
birthdays around this time of year, so that's why I make it my
What's your
full-time season.
birthday?
Like fall is my full. My birthday is in January 16th.
Okay, mine is on November 16th.
Nice. Oh, maybe I should make you something for your birthday.
We're both born on the 16th.
That's awesome. That's really random, actually.
Yeah. Um, what are they like positive criticisms that you've gotten from other people? Or, what do you usually get? What kind of criticisms do you get for your art? And how do you deal with these kind of criticisms, and basically not being rude, but just letting other people know, like affirm or assert yourself, that look, this is how I do things, and um it's your choice whether to take this kind of art on for you, or you can choose another artist. Or how would you how do you deal with these criticisms, whether they're positive or negative? What kind of criticisms do you hear, and how do you deal with them?
I'd say the positive and negative that are most frequent for me go hand in hand. It's usually based on the creepiness. How creepy my art is. It's like, oh, it's so creepy, but it's actually still so cute. Like, I love that. And then, on the same note, it will be somebody else who doesn't, they just don't have the affinity for that style, and they want things to just be cute and to just be like sparkly and happy all the time. And
Uh-huh.
it will be like, oh, it's cute, but it's just so creepy. But if you didn't do that part of it, and usually my response is, yeah, really just how you said it. This is just my preferred style, and it's to each their own. There's so many artists. I'll even share some artists for them to follow, because I'm
Uh-huh.
not about the game. If
Uh,
I think they'll like another style better, and also maybe harass me a little less about my style, I'm
right.
like, hey, well, here's somebody very similar that does the kind of stuff that you like to buy or you like to
Uh-huh.
see. But my stuff's not necessarily going to change, because that's it's taken me a long time to get comfortable with
Who you
showing
are.
I guess like the scary side or the creepy side of things and not just
Right.
making them pretty all the time. So it's a really big part of my art for me. And I know it's uncomfortable, but for me, art should be uncomfortable. You know, if it's not making you feel something
Yeah.
other than it should make you feel happy. But if it's not, if it's always just happy, that's a little bit too much of a surface emotion for me. I want to scare you just a little bit, you know, make you question why do you feel this way?
I like it. I like that. I personally do a lot of abstracts. I've done a couple characters, but nothing like I was trying to get into character. This is one of my pieces of my art. I don't have a lot of pieces of my art because
Oh, awesome.
I don't
Ooh, I've
have
been
a lot of pieces of my art
lately.
because I had to rip out all my canvases when I came from US to India. I had to rip out like over 100 out of the canvas boards, and I couldn't sell them, so like they're just rolled up somewhere, and at my family's extended family's house, everything's just I couldn't, so I have to make up a new set of art in order to maybe do like some sort of like exhibition over here or something. And then maybe I can pass on that information to all the artists I know by actually experimenting and seeing what works out here. Like maybe I can do some sort of exhibition or something. They have like a lot of museums here, but the museums are like art from like very long ago, and the art is like from temples and stuff.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they do have other stuff too, but there's a lot of temple art, a lot of sculptures.
Yeah, I would say there are some like Mexico Art Museum has a lot of specific exhibitions that they'll have you. I mean, you can always enter your own stuff, but create custom pieces for, and it includes a lot of up and coming artists and smaller artists. And it's not just like super classic traditional art. You know, they get really creative. And then that other, I can't remember what it is. It's a center down on what is it, Lamar and oh maybe not, Barton Springs.
Okay.
Right in the center of town, there's it's like an event center, and they also have a gallery where they do a lot of exhibitions as well, similar to the museum, where they offer for a lot of up and coming artists, just all kinds of focus themes where you can create a piece just for that, or if you have something that already focuses around that theme, you can enter it, and it's really for everybody. So it takes you away from the kind of no shame to of course like traditional very classic art, but for us, we want to create in the now.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I'm still trying to figure out which ones where I can actually display my art. These museums that I'm talking about, they're more have to do with old displaying art from ages ago. I couldn't necessarily try to do anything with that. It's just more for me to like get inspiration and see.
Yeah, there's so much inspiration to go on a museum trip in Austin. I mean,
what are your favorite artists? I don't necessarily I have favorite artists, but they're not like anything to influence my own art, because I just do my own style. But do you have any favorite artists that just you have just that has, even though it doesn't have anything to do with you, do you have like some favorite artists?
Yes, I mean, I would say probably all my favorite artists do influence my work, because they kind of change based on how my style is changing at the time.
Oh, okay.
But Squid Liquor, I don't know, that's her artist name. I forget her last name. It's Lauren something.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
She's so awesome. She's just doing fantastic. I mean, I followed her for years, and she's doing all kinds of amazing, like culturally based empowerment focused work. So she's just great. I feel like my physical style more than my artistic style is inspired by her. She's very vibrant, colorful.
Uh-huh.
Else probably not. This isn't um, a visual artist, but a model, and she does photography photo shoots. Gina Harrison,
Okay.
also very like
Did you say
empowerment
Gina?
focused. Gina,
Gina.
yes,
Okay.
Gina.
Okay.
Yeah, she's awesome. A lot of focus around like mental health and the same concepts that I like a lot, where it's sharing things that are hard to see, but they need to be seen, you know,
Yeah.
and just in very beautiful, raw visual ways.
Yeah, uh just quoting L Gates, he's a musician, he's a DJ music
Yes,
producer.
yes.
Yeah, he said in one of his in his clips, he said that 72-73% of artists have mental health issues, so it's not like uncommon. And that when I heard him say that, then I was like, this is such an important fact, it affects us all, and like maybe that it's a part of why it makes us strange and beautiful, is the fact that we have this neurodivergence in ourselves, and it makes you feel less odd, like what that he brought it to the table. It just makes you feel like, okay, you know what, I could deal with that.
Yeah, I do appreciate knowing that most of the people I end up in my like chosen family or artist's family are people who are neurodivergent, or they're
Yeah.
dealing with some kind of like neurological difference that it's made them reach out and find other coping mechanisms and tools than people would commonly do in their daily life if there's no reason to.
Yeah. I have my family, and then I have like, maybe my family's friends, and then I have my own artist family that like, not only am I getting to create more with this podcast, I feel very blessed to be able to talk to like people who I can, who can maybe understand me on another level. And not that I haven't had that since I was younger, but I never found a way to like bring it together. And that this podcast is really helping me, like, I'm really getting to know even some of the people that I've already knew in a different light, like more get
Yeah.
along with them, and find out what they're up to without like, being maybe too inquisitive, or not too inquisitive, but like I forgot the word, maybe um I forgot what the word is, but I just like too intrusive. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, like I could just talk to them on like a level where like I'm sharing, they're sharing, it's all cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so awesome that you have the space where you can, just invite people and, like you said, like learn more about them without it being like, I mean, it's not a barrage of questions, but it's expected that you're going to, ask these things and just poke around kind of in our artist brain and figure out why we, do and create the things that we do.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to meet you. Just like genuinely happy to meet you. Also,
You too.
huh?
I said thank you. You're so sweet. You too.
Thanks. Is there what other like stories or that shaped you? Like, what other stories like have shaped you like in such a way where when you first started, you started doing the characters, and then you said that there was a point where you wanted to make them spooky. Like, what was the like? Was there like a big event that like um you know interested you in making all these characters spooky?
Um, Sorry, my dog's drinking water over there so loud. I would, I don't know. I mean, I have had a few, like, definitely some very traumatic stuff and things that I've had to use art to cope with. But I'd say I was more of like a little emo child. So they were kind of spooky, but like more in just like a sad way and like a very, super obvious way. Like I just drew what I was feeling, and it'd be like, you know, the sad crying or like a super violent girl. And now I'm like, okay, now that I have ways to process that, I want to find a character more that emulates it through their physical characteristics than through what they're, you know, what emotion they're showing.
Right.
So it kind of just, yeah, it's adapted into these little creatures.
That makes sense, you know, like, and as we process things, I think we tend to like make different art over the years. Like I need a new set of art so I can like start these exhibitions and um let's see what other things. What challenges are you facing now? Like this particular, not these particular, like just last month. Like what challenges are you facing and now that you're an established artist?
Um, Honestly, I would say plenty of challenges. I don't know if they're like any really art specific focus challenges, but just, you know, even though when you're doing something you love and following your passion, there's still life, and there's a lot of setbacks that kind of, I don't know, set you back. I don't know how to better explain that, but
I know, because like for me at this point in time with the podcast and everything, I'm facing like I don't know if it's a podcast, but at this particular time, you know, getting in touch with different people and realizing that there is this female types of jealousy that's pretty hardcore, and like I didn't really like think of it until like somebody brought it up. Like I'm like years like behind of like the jealousy. Like I just found out like somebody was jealous, like it like blocked me and all this stuff. Like I'm just like why like I don't even put like my energy towards that, and like I just found it weird that like this person is just like exuding like loads of jealousy. I found that awkward. I think with the podcast and everything, I think I need to like find other ways, because the podcast is not necessarily making me income, but it's making me happy. And I just want to keep on going with it because it makes me super happy to like converse with artists and see what they're up to and like build that friendship and trust with them.
yeah.
I just but you know there's like there's a few women who've like exuded this to the point where like they're talking to like a lot of people, and I'm just like, you know, I don't have any reason to be jealous of you, like, and I'm sorry that you feel like that about me, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're dealing with that. That's so frustrating. I mean, I haven't really had too many major issues with other artists, other than like general moral conflicts where, you know, they just weren't ready to step into a certain kind of moral accountability, and I'm the blocker. I'm like,
So
I'm
you
the one who,
the
but for
collab
different
thing
reasons.
with the collab.
Not really collaboration, just more people that were in the same art circles, you know, and
Oh,
people that you know, it hasn't been too long. It's only been, like I said, 5 years, but meeting so many people over the years, and you know, you can be friends online for such a long time, and being with them in real life and seeing some of the behaviors and I'm big on communication. You know, I'm like, okay, if I see something, I say something.
right.
And I want to talk about it and see if you're aware about it, and if you know, understand that this is not necessarily healthy behavior. And I realized that a lot of the artist's life is it's kind of drowning yourself in creativity when you get too, I don't know, too into following your passion, I guess,
Yeah,
and
there's this whole
you kind of
introvert
get your feet off the ground.
thing.
It seems like it can be overwhelming. I don't know. That's part of the reason why I do stay in my seasons. You know, I want my season for creativity and my season for rest, and I don't want to get too caught up in it because I have seen it so many times. I don't want to lose sight of,
Yeah.
you know, being grounded and being mindful and stuff like that, because I'm caught up in the excitement of being an artist and doing all these art things.
I feel you right there, like with like I have this side of me where it's just very introverted and like I have to re-energize in order to be around other people. And then I have to learn, like, not learn, but I already know, but I have to, like, prepare myself if I'm gonna be around other people for those types of moments, in mentally and physically.
Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of energy. I feel like a lot of us are like we you spend so much on creating, and when it comes to you have to kind of combo that with socializing, it's like, okay, oh my god, we have to like super prepare mentally and physically for this.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to share about your journey, or just anything at all? Before we wrap it up.
Um, I don't know. We've covered a lot of stuff. I mean, I know little butt's getting grumpy at me too, having to wait.
Yeah. Did you eat dinner?
We just ate.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost my breakfast time. Well, if you have any exhibitions or anything coming up, I just wanted to welcome you back. You're always welcome just to give me a call if you feel like it. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a real,
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will be able to put this on for you in just another couple hours. I'll be able to send you a link. And you're most welcome to be on here again. Just let me know. Let me know when your timings fit. If it's a couple months, if it's a year, if it's 2 years. Whenever you're ready. I would love to have you back on as guests.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I'd love to come chat with you again.
Okay. Much love.
Have a good morning.
You too.